Hi, Bobcat gardeners. I'm just out here watering in these potatoes that we planted in these 2 trenches here in bed number 3. I'm really excited to hopefully be able to harvest these with you all before we go home for summer break. You know, speaking of water is a really precious resource. It's necessary for all life on Earth. I like to see it soak down into the soil and imagine where it goes from there, into all of our plants' roots and then up into the plant, helping it thrive. You know, our garden is more than a collection of plants. There's a really special word for it: ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms. An example of a community is our school. It consists of students, teachers, staff, even parents and neighbors. They're all a part of our school community. Now, back to an ecosystem. An ecosystem is the same as a community, but it refers to a community in nature. Our garden ecosystem includes the plants, all wildlife, including critters in our soil like decomposers, pollinators, the birds, and us, the gardeners. So, the members of an ecosystem rely on one another. For example, in our garden ecosystem, we gardeners rely on our plants for food, of course. But plants rely on the decomposers like worms and soil microbes for nutrients and energy to grow big and strong. Pollinators like bees and butterflies rely on the plants for food too. In turn, the plants rely on pollinators to move pollen from flower to flower. Probably the most important thing about our garden ecosystem is that all of the members, including decomposers, plants, pollinators, they rely on us, the gardeners, to keep the ecosystem healthy. Last month, we talked a lot about how soil is a precious resource that we must protect and build. So this month, we really want to learn how water is also a precious resource. So gardeners have 2 very important choices to make that impact our water and the members of our garden ecosystem. The first choice is, do we use chemical fertilizers? Gardeners often put fertilizer on soil to help plants grow. Some types of fertilizers can have negative or bad effects on our water. The second choice is, how do we control pests? Pests are unwanted insects that might do damage to our crops. Gardeners often spray pesticides or bug killers to get rid of pests. Some pesticides can harm our bees and helpful bugs while they pollute or damage our soil and water. Here are 3 things to think about between now and our lesson together. First, where does the water that flows into our garden in the form of rain go from here? Did you know that the water here in our soil, it can actually impact the water that flows all the way into the Gulf of Mexico? That's wild. Second, why do you think we use compost in our garden and not a chemical fertilizer from a factory? Third, When we have pests that make holes in our plants, why wouldn't we immediately reach for a pesticide? That's so much to think about. I cannot wait to explore with you how we take care of our garden ecosystem here. Now, I'm gonna go plant some peas in that bed. Bye for now.